Hiya, hiya. Well, they say the youth is wasted on the young. Nothing's ever wasted. Nothing is biodegradable on this planet except, well, maybe my feelings. Anyway, the thought is that we have a society that's aimed at the youth culture. The youth culture. The millennials. Millennials are now the G group replacing the millennials, and the other one, what is the X group, whatever they call it, it's all young people coming into the picture who you can fool. So what happens is the advertising community has found a way to sell stuff. What they do is they take young victims, and they're not looking for viewers on television anymore, they're looking for victims. They want you to buy into their program, and then you go ahead and you buy this product. You see how they're raising all the prices of everything, and nobody's really talking about it that way. They're giving it to you as a news story, but not a solution. And art imitates life, so when you see something on television, like the cops being shot right now, then there was another cop got shot today. Yesterday there were two of them. So, it's art imitates life. Why? Because people see something and they think it's a video game or it's some sort of craziness in their head where they can act out. And people do these things based on television media performance. They watch something and they say, oh, wait, I can get attention, or I can get away with it, or something that I really know that there is a need for. We should get rid of this easily. I can make a difference. I think somewhere along, that's not about cop shooting, incidentally. We talk about how we really don't want to have any boundaries. That's what it amounts to. We're in a Republican and Democratic society where one party is very conservative and the other one's very liberal, and the liberal ones are not always liberal and the conservative ones are not always conservative. And it's really actually a crossover, but people don't want to surrender their position because then your ego is at stake. And what ego is a very big component. People want to exercise their privileges, their rights, the American Patriotic Act. And we always go to the Bible and when we want to justify our existence, which has the description of every single man on the planet and woman. And we also go to the Constitution, which describes every single patriot or American or every sect group that ever existed in America. This is full coverage, they got better coverage here than Geico, which is incidentally, why are we advertising an insurance company every 15 minutes? You give me 15 minutes, I'll give you another ad. And who cares about a lizard from Australia? What does that have to do with my car? It's a Geico, that's it. Oh, I get it now. That's what that is. Oh, man. How about a slimy little snake? That would be more like it for real estate, I think I'm a little bit off on some of my forecasts here, but you get the point. The point is that I am bitching about how we appeal to the young. We're always after young people. We don't care about old people anymore. The old people we're too smart, we're too wise. Plus, we have rules that need to be violated by young people. There are boundaries. And people need to follow boundaries, they're disciplines, they're things that we learn so we know that it functions better for everybody if we have a certain amount of decorum. I love that word. So, I had to follow them, and I'm an outrageous rebel. I am a rebel with a cause. All my life I've been a rebel. I was the first shock jock on the radio, I really broke all the rules. And you have to. John McEnroe was also known for being a pain in the butt. He was a rule breaker in tennis. Also, he was a racket breaker. You can't throw your rackets out. People have done things to get attention. We've done things to be famous. We've done things to break out of our usual thinking, to break out of the mold so that we can change the society. And I'm not talking about that. That's adventuresome. That's people taking chances and risks and having a passion for something, seeing things a different way. I'm talking about how we have catered to the young because we want them to buy stuff, which is really essentially it now. We're in a commercial society. I like what happened with those ships that are all out at sea. They can't be unloaded because nobody wants to unload them. So one of the people in Florida said, well, bring them down here. We'll get people to unload them. So why is it the people from Florida will work and unload the ships, but they won't do it in California? I don't know. See, I mean, nobody explains anything. And why is the gas $3.15 a gallon here and it's $3.50 somewhere else? What's the reason? You could drive all the way across the country and find the price changes on gasoline. Is it because you're closer to the refinery? Is it because you have taxation from the state that's higher than another state? Why do we have this difference of price here? Why are we paying $1.20 more a gallon than we did last year? You realize how much money that is? All right, figure it out. $1 more a gallon of every gallon that is used in this country. $1 more. That's $1 billion. That's $1 trillion that Biden wants. It's all in the gasoline. Why are we doing that? So we can kiss the ass of the Arab community? Is that it? I mean, that would be my first accusation. I hope to not offend anybody too much. But you know, I think somewhere along the route, we ought to change our direction. We got to really just get on television and start saying, hey, wait a minute, you know, this is stupid. How about opening a newscast with that? Or go F yourself. That would be a good and you imagine, when we do the everyday language news, you know, the black community is a little bit more daring with the language. But I can see where, I don't want to do it here now, but I would love to do a newscast with that language. That would, to me, would be a Dave Chappelle bit. That would be something that I would do as a white guy. I don't want to do it right now because I'm not in a good platform where everybody is going to respect me for my comedy genius. They're going to respect me for nothing. They're going to say, what an idiot. See, it's an extreme. You're either a genius or you're an idiot. Nobody can be in the middle, you know. I'm an extremist idiot. I'm just working my way through all of this stuff, you know, trying to pay for my college loan. But this is the way it goes when you are my age. You know, you sit here and you watch everybody and say, well, like Seinfeld, what were they thinking? You know, what was in your head when that happened? Where were you going with that? I'm looking at the media industry and I'm saying, are you guys really serious about this? I mean, are you trying to sell stuff? And the lawyers, oh my God, we graduated so many of them. See, what we did wrong, we can't do it over again. And it was said to me by a great lawyer, good friend, who was the president's attorney at one time. He said to me on my show one time, we'll talk off the air. So I asked him off the air, I said, what's really going on in the country? And he said, well, as I was telling the president this morning, always a good opening line. He says, we got two things. One is something we can handle, another one we can't. What's the one we can handle? The one we can handle is we have good laws hiding bad laws and bad laws hiding good laws. We can weed out our garden. I said, what's the bad news? He said, the bad news is we graduated too many lawyers, and I'm one of them. See, that's what they do. The lawyers sit around and they defend things. They're not interested in what's right or wrong or good or bad necessarily. They're interested in winning or losing. That's all there is. I mean, they defend criminals. They defend people who are doing all these bad things all the time because it's a lawyer. The privilege of a lawyer is to defend anybody at any time as long as you stay within the rules of the court, whatever that means. So you got the Supreme Court at the top, and then you got all the minority courts at the bottom, and you got a lot of fake judges, people. Oh, don't forget now, a judge has to have been a lawyer. And if you're in the FBI, you have to be an accountant and or a lawyer. So you got to have that training. Everybody's got to have a lawyer, see? That's the whole, you got to understand that when you grow up and your parents said you should become a lawyer, that's because you knew how to defend yourself against the rest of those crazy family members. I put a fork in my uncle's hand one time. Just that's not law. It's a law of gravity. I'm telling you, you know, he was an idiot. But the fact is that if you have an attitude and you want to drive it home, you get yourself a lawyer. If you fell and slipped, you want to sue somebody, you get a lawyer. If you want to have money in a car case, you split with the guy who goes to court for you because you don't want to do all the paperwork and you don't know how to follow the system anyway. So all these people have been graduated from law school. We are lawyer heavy. And we kiss the ass of young people because we know that they will buy anything. They are gullible. And it's all gullible as travels. Young people are really stupid. We kept them that way because we want them to obey us. You didn't figure this out, huh? You needed me to play Yoda. Or as they say in the Amish community, thou sucks. It's a Reynolds wrap.